Good morning, dear friends. As Shanar told you, this is a conference or a gathering for Turkey and the neighboring countries. And since I come from Norway, which not exactly is the neighboring country, and I think that what Shanar is doing is so important, I decided to move, and now I'm settled in Üsküdar instead, just to become a neighbor. I would like to say some words about the situation, and I had made this speech like this. Again, we are gathered to monitor the situation for freedom of expression in Turkey, as well as worldwide. Some of us have come for the first time. Others have taken part in this event up through the years. Our hosts and Turkish friends, though, have lived here. They live their lives here from day to day, from month to month, from year to year, with a struggle which sometimes seems never to take an end, just to achieve their obvious rights, as it is stated in the Article 19 of the United Nations Declaration of Human Rights, a declaration to which Turkey is a signatory. It is easy to see what has improved in the Turkish society concerning freedom of expression. Unfortunately, it is easy because it's not so very much. Let's be clear. The atmosphere has changed during the last 10 years. The society is more open. A wider range of criticism can be expressed, and the case is opened according to the articles still used to strangle free expression, more often results in acquittal. At the same time, there are more cases opened now than during the last years, and the feeling of unease is growing. Death threats occurs, and little is done by the authorities to hunt down and punish those who uses ultranationalism and religious fanaticism to spread hatred and fear. Hrant Dink was brutally murdered. Thousands of people expressed their abhorrence and sympathy the day he was buried. But did this disgraceful deed result in any substantial changes in the establishment's view on the article which allowed this killing to take place? Unfortunately, no. Up to now, no. No reactions. But in this panel, we are going to monitor the situation for freedom of expression worldwide. This is a task which requires concentration and the ability to point out some of the most representative trends. At the same time, we still are in Istanbul, so the connection to Turkey necessarily has to be an important part of the contribution during our discussion. At the same time, we will see the censorship and gagging of free expression in words as well as tunes has become more frequent in many corners of the world. Killings and threats to life and security, the tools more and more often used, and only rarely are the responsibles brought to trial or even found. I mentioned Hrant Dink. Less than 1 year earlier, Anna Politkovskaya in Russia was shot dead in her elevator on the way home. Hrant Dink, last article, where he describes himself as a doe, afraid but determined, could be directly connected to Anna own attitude. They both knew what kind of people they stood up against: fanatics, criminals, and unscrupulous authorities. They did what they had to do despite their fear. Hundreds of journalists have been killed during the last 10 years, murdered or fallen as victims of military as well as semi-paramilitary fire. Many of them surely with the same anxiety in their hearts as Anna and Rand, journalists who felt themselves as lifeguards of the public right to know what those in power is up to. Defamation trials and impunity is the mighty and powerful answer to those who speaks up. But this is still the extreme cases, although far too frequent. More often, softer methods are introduced. Articles are in use to strangle the free exchange of thoughts and information. Terrorists or sympathizers to terror organizations are those called the authorities want to silence. The war on terror, as well as the terror itself, has become a worldwide campaign to introduce fear. Sometimes relevant, most of the time not. In the name of democracy, hundreds, thousands have lost their lives. Many more lost their health, their family members, and their possibility to live a normal life. In the name of one God or another, people have once again, as they did hundreds of years ago, started to hate and even kill each other. The aggressive kind of democracy some countries today mix with pure will to power destroys the ethical backbone of democracy itself and weaken all of us. So this is why we are here, to exercise the most important right given to us, a right no one should be able to curtail, the right to peaceful exchange of thoughts and information, the right to protest, and the right to disagree. And now I would like to invite the next speaker, Mr. Alexis Krikorian, who comes from IPA, the International Publishers Association. He is based in Geneva. He is working together with both International PEN as well as with Human Rights Watch and Article 19. And we try to make a network of different organizations who are linked together. We have each our specialty, but I'm sure that Alexis will tell you more about this. Alexis?